Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to share with you 5 things I think you should know about this upcoming October Ascension energy here in 2018. As you can see in the thumbnail, I wrote the 2 words down, lift off, implying you. It's time for you to lift off, to transcend many of the things that have been weighing you down, and lift off, implying maintain the higher frequency octave you're already capable of existing at, but might not stay at very often. The potential is there. You've created it. You've made the space. You've raised your frequency. Now it's about leveling yourself up and living from that octave. And therefore, once you can sustain your optimal frequency and live your life from that vantage point, that's where you lift off and consciously separate yourself much more so than ever before from your own darkness, from the darkness and chaos and confusion of the world, and live in your own little reality bubble, doing what you came to do, spreading your light and living a life at a potential that has always been there, and now is time for you to do and be. It's time to lift off. And this month is going to give you everything you need for you to do that successfully. Before I get into the 5 things, which will clarify this message much more so, let me just say, if you're new to my channel, welcome. It's beautiful and a pleasure to have you here. If you are brand new, you may have not have heard yet, I have a free guided meditation that I made for all of my subscribers. It's designed to help those going through the awakening process realize their own innate healing abilities. The fact that you can raise your vibration and heal yourself at will. That's the intention of the meditation. Is totally free. Check it out down below at the top of the description box if you're interested. And with that said, I will get right into the video. Number 1, everything is shifting and changing fast. I know you're thinking, wow, Vic, what's new? Tell me something I don't already know and haven't been experiencing for like several years. I know, but what I'm saying is that in a big way. And not just, not at the pace we've been going. It's more like we're finding ourselves almost stumbling down the hill into all this unknown territory, unknown aspects of ourselves. We are discovering unknown talents we never knew we had, unknown goals, desires, and consequently unknown and new life situations, life callings, all of it new, coming quickly. The tides have shifted. You are changing and lifting off into a whole new expression of yourself. And is it fun? Yeah. Is it exhilarating? Super. Is it scary? Yes. It's okay to be a little afraid. I am. Sometimes fear of the unknown, fear of the next level will express itself to me in dreams. And I had a dream just the other night that's like a perfect metaphor. And I knew instantly what it was telling me. And I'll share it with you real quick. It won't be a boring, long, drawn-out individual dream. It's more of like a dream that has sort of a universal meaning. So I was in this plane, this really nice plane. I was in the very front row, not really first class, but I was in the front row, and it was all glass before me. And the stewardess, is that what they're called? The flight attendant was going through all their spiel, and I had this sixth sense, like this. I had a feeling we were going to crash, and I was like pondering this feeling, like, is this just a fear? Because sometimes I get nervous flying. A lot of us do, but it was more than that. It was more of like a premonition. Like I really felt, I sensed strongly like this plane's not going to make it. And I was like debating with myself, should I get out of the plane? Should I say something? And then all of a sudden, they start to like, drive away to like go lift off. And they're driving away. And once they turned that corner, I saw there was this crazy rolling thunder sort of storm we are heading into. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is bad. And then the passengers around me discovered that, and they were like, hey, this seems like a bad idea. And the flight attendant was sort of unconfidently saying, you know what? The pilots have trained for this. It's going to be okay. But it was almost like she was trying to tell herself, like trying to convince herself. And this storm was just going nuts, and I woke up. To me, it was like, you're getting ready to lift off, Victor, but you're afraid of the storm. And that's okay, because we don't really, all we see, the unknown many times to us, even though it could be beautiful sunny skies and birds flying around, we see storm. Unknown produces fear. Most people are not comfortable merging into this change. And you might feel this acceleration of just the pace at which your life is changing and unfolding. And though exciting, though hopeful, on an intuitive level, it does sometimes produce nerves. But if you stay to the end of the video, when I get to point number 5, you're going to see how this resolves itself in a beautiful way. And it's really just a temporary little thing on the road to your amazing success on all levels. Number 2, leveling up. It's your time to successfully become a match for the life you want. You probably have already been realizing this over the past month or even more, that for you to become a match for the life you want, you're going to have to change. You're going to have to let go of these lower vibration expressions of yourself, habits, behaviors, patterns, cycles, etc. They might have been magnifying and revealing themselves, making you maybe temporarily think they're going to hold you down, but it's only so you could see them. And create a sufficient amount of motivation to level yourself up by whatever that means for you. Maybe it's going to bed earlier. Maybe it's meditating so you can maintain your focus and ignore the negativity in your life. Maybe it's whatever, signing up for college, something you've been putting off and wanting to do, but you're afraid, but you know you need an education to be a nurse or whatever it is you want. Whatever it is, you might find yourself leveling yourself up, doing whatever seems obviously relevant for you to become that higher octave expression of yourself. But I want to bring back our attention to the very first part of this, number 2, where I said it's your time to successfully do this. I know many of you are hearing this and thinking, yeah, I know, Vic, I know I got to do this, but I've been trying. I've tried to kick these habits. I've tried to start these new ones, but I keep falling back. It's the time. It's your time. It will work this time. Try it again. I'll give an example of a success story of mine. As I'm always confessing to you, one of my Achilles heel is unhealthy junk food. My parents are in town right now, and we went to the Cheesecake Factory with the whole family to kind of re-celebrate my 5-year-old son Lucas's birthday. And I ate all of my meals off their like Skinnylicious menu, where I love that place, but it's very unhealthy food primarily. But I got 3 of these smaller entrees off the Skinnylicious food. They ordered this dessert, which was like my favorite dessert of all time. And I sat there sort of like gripping my seat, and I successfully refrained. Now that might not seem like a large accomplishment to you. You're like, well, I don't struggle with food, dude. But that was a struggle for me. That's something that has been a problem for me because I can easily justify it and I can easily make up the damage done. But it's interfering with me being a consistent, leveled up version of myself. And I've been realizing this past few months that this has got to go. It doesn't matter how much you like that food. You can't do it, Vic. You can't handle yourself. And you got to just say no. And in the past, I would have little fleeting moments of white knuckling it and I'd fall back down. This time was different. This is like maybe one of the it was like a perfect scenario of like, what would be the hardest way to challenge Victor? Your parents are never in town. They live across the country. It's an excuse. It's your son's birthday. How could you refrain? It's one of your favorite restaurants. No, and no. I didn't do it. I don't know where the strength came from, but it's there, and we're all connected. If it's there for me, it'll be there for you too if you choose to tap into it. But it's time for you to level up. It will be necessary for you to go to that next level. Number 3, the beautiful thing about all of this is what's going to give you that strength. It's more of the remembrance, the realization of your true self-worth. Life will show you who you really are. It can happen in sort of surprising. It can be a surprise sometimes based on the unfoldments in your life that seemed like, how does this fit into my flow? How is this helping me? Why is this agitating me? Well, it's just exactly what I need to say, aha, I'm better than this. I don't need this. I'm strong enough without this. I am realizing my worth. A lot of times, lack of self-worth is what prevents us from having a life our heart wants. Just like the person who's struggling financially at their job, and all they have to do is ask their boss for a promotion. But they don't feel that sense of worth. They don't know their worth, and therefore their behaviors reflect that illusionary way of viewing themselves, and they never ask the question. That's always been a potential. And they finally, something happens. They're working with a group of people. They're like, you know what? I'm the smartest one in this whole bunch. I don't belong here anymore. I belong up there. Now I know that. Mr. Boss or Mrs. Boss, I demand a raise. Okay. I've thought you've been suitable for a long time. Thank you for asking. I'm just waiting on you. Look closely at the situations in your life. There very well may be a deeper motive and meaning to them, I would suspect, revealing to you who you are. Number 4, greater access than ever before to your divine gifts, abilities, talents. In fact, I would be curious, you healers out there, how has it been going? Have you been noticing this more of just like a power coming through you? I certainly have. I filmed a new MP3 meditation for a new thing I'm building, a new course, and I was blown away how deeply into like the channeled state I became, way more than these videos. And at the end of the meditation, which I improvised a lot, I had a script, but I improvised, I created this like state of being where I felt electric, like my whole body was vibrating. I felt a new level of like divine connection as I was doing this, and I was like, whoa, dang. It's like, I think a lot of the light workers are going to be able to start accessing this, a greater level of this divine potential. There's a greater divine connection regardless. You probably notice more synchronicity in your life, more alarming, not alarming, like scary, but more like, wow, types of synchronicity. I had one the other day where I call it a triple synchronicity, where I can't remember exactly how it went, but I was driving down the highway, feeling like in the zone, and whatever was going on in my head, I looked up at the and there's a billboard there that pretty much was a mirror image of what I was thinking, and I thought, synchronicity. My eyes were directed to my radio, and as I was looking at the seconds, how it counts, 1, 2, 3, the length of the song, I saw it shift from 211 to 212. 212 is like one of my major numbers I see. I had the intuition. I go, oh wow! I had the intuition to look down. It was exactly 212. Like bop, bop, bop. Triple synchronicity. When that happens, it makes me realize that it's sort of my way of telling myself that you are moving to a newer level of like the fourth density experience of life. So just be aware of it, because you're about to be more there's a lot of implications to that. There's a lot of implications. For one, you got to be more of a match for that. 2, it's just sort of my way of letting myself know. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent here, but I would be very curious how you guys are feeling. Do you feel like you're having more of a divine connection in some way in your life? If so, please feel free to share it down at the bottom. I'd be very curious to know. Number 5, lift off. You're going to lift off. Going back to my dream, that plane is going to lift off. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to go into that storm. And as we get closer and closer and closer, the nerves might be higher and higher and higher. Right now, you might feel your emotions all up at the surface, where it's like tough to stay focused, tough to stay grounded, tough to stay disciplined. And you're ascending, you're rising, you're going, and you're in the storm. The storm is everything is scary and crazy as you thought it would be, but you know what happens? A couple seconds later, you bust out of the storm. It was like a very little storm, wide but skinny. You pop right through it. Imagine the contrast. You're quickly accelerating towards everything you've ever wanted in your life. The old egoic nerves and fears and doubts are flaring up maybe more intensely than ever. But you now have the strength to level yourself up and pierce through those clouds and see that you had it within you all along. You had what it takes all along. And it was just that decision to go for it is all that was needed to help you pierce through your own storm, your own dark clouds, and realize that, wow, you are made of a whole lot. You're extremely worthy of anything your heart wants. You're extremely capable. You're an enduring human being, strong, intelligent, connected. And the rediscovery of that is priceless. It's 100 times more satisfying than whatever manifestations that start to eventually mirror from that new realized state of being. And you've earned it. So kudos to you. Kudos to me. It's not been easy. I know it hasn't been easy for you guys. Okay? Okay, my friends, that's my message for today. I want to thank you for your love and your support and the work you're doing every single day that no one sees, no one thanks you for, the emotional purging you are going through right now, the leaps of faith you're taking that maybe people in your life don't understand, probably don't support you, maybe even think you're a bit crazy and dramatic. I honor you, I thank you, and I appreciate you because I know how it is, okay? So if there's no one else, know Victor has got your back. Peace.